They were once the flawless idols adorning our bedroom walls, the definitions of perfection. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling and the years start counting? Some fought against the current with every tool money could buy, while others embraced the storm with quiet dignity. We've curated the most shocking and inspiring transformations of 2025. These aren't just changing faces, they are the battle scars of life. Let's dive in. Nick Nolte is not merely an actor. He is an ode to primal freedom, a symbol of masculine strength unbound by any rigid convention. In his youth, his face seemed like the blueprint of a free-spirited American dream, where every feature carried the breath of sun-soaked roads and endless untamed adventures. Yet fate did not grant him a gentle path. Instead, it tested him with storms of lived experience where instinct sometimes overpowered reason, leaving upon his physical form the cracks of a soul that never consented to being domesticated. As time began to etch the marks of a weathered life onto his appearance, Nolte confronted it with a proud, defiant nonchalance. He refused to become a prisoner of artificial glamour or borrowed medical miracles meant to preserve a shadow long faded into solitude. Instead, he chose to return to his true self, allowing himself to age like an ancient forest tree, gnarled, rugged, and scarred by wind and rain, yet harboring an unshakable inner force. Whispers about a no longer polished appearance are merely passing breezes to a soul that has come to understand the true nature of human finitude. Nolte's greatness lies in his absolute faith in authenticity. He strips away every layer of vanity to reveal the pure core of an artist who needs no cosmetic magic to prove his worth. He shows the world that when the polish of fame inevitably flakes away, what remains is an immortal soul, one that can never be subdued by the law of obsolescence. For him, aging is not a loss, but a pilgrimage toward stillness and depth, the final ascent of a true legend. Demi Moore is not merely a movie star. She is the embodiment of a radiant dream, a goddess reigning at the summit of cinema's grand temple, where allure is worshipped as an unchanging religion. Her life is a dazzling love song to beauty, yet also a relentless, unforgiving dialogue with the brutal law of time. When unfiltered reality began to confront the glossy illusions splashed across headlines, the world witnessed a proud struggle of an icon standing at the threshold of mortality. It was not simply the change of a face, but the battle of a soul refusing to fade into obscurity. Even while standing at the center of a storm of judgment and relentless scrutiny over her efforts to preserve an elegant beauty, Demi Moore has maintained an aura of mystery and allure. She did not choose to retreat before the forces of nature's selection. Instead, she redefined herself, venturing into new realms with the resilient spirit of a phoenix rising from the ashes of prejudice. Though her appearance may no longer reflect the radiant youth of past decades, the refined presence and inner strength of a woman who has weathered every rise and fall continue to radiate a powerful magnetism, eclipsing every mark left by time. Her story stands as vivid proof of humanity's most primal longing, the desire to exist, to be remembered, and to challenge the very current of destiny. Demi Moore has shown that ultimate beauty does not reside in the stillness of youth, but in the power of continued presence and the courage to redefine oneself in a world that relentlessly demands eternal perfection. She is not merely aging. She is writing a new chapter on the power of resilience and the beauty of a mind that has come to understand the impermanence of all things. Scarlett Johansson is not merely a beauty. She is an artistic entity that continually renews itself with every breath of time. From her earliest steps into cinema's sacred hall, armed with a pure, luminous beauty, and a voice echoing the depth of a timeless love song, she swiftly rose to become a global icon. Her allure lies not only in her natural features but in a powerful energy, both gentle and fierce, capable of reshaping an entire cinematic universe. Now, as she enters the age of maturity, Scarlett has shed the radiant image of a muse to embrace the elegance of a leader. The marks of time around her eyes do not diminish her allure. Instead, they speak of the experiences of a mother, a producer, and a self-determined woman. She does not choose to force youth through illusory miracles. She chooses to shine through authenticity. Scarlett proves that when the glow of youth fades, what remains is a profound beauty shaped by strength of character and an unwavering commitment to true artistry. Donatella Versace is a warrior on the front lines of glittering dreams. Carrying an immense legacy amid the storm of grief and pressure, she transformed her name into a symbol of absolute power. In a world of silks and brocade, where perfection is worshipped like a religion, Donatella has paid a heavy price to maintain her position. Her experiments with beauty, her pursuit of eternity through cosmetic interventions, have turned her face into a controversial bas-relief, yet one etched with undeniable resilience. Every line on Donatella's face today is not merely the result of technique, but the imprint of a soul that refuses to retreat before the erosion of time. She stands proud and radiant beneath the catwalk lights, proving that true power resides in the mind and in boundless creativity. Confronted by harsh judgment, she remains the captain steering the Versace ship across every ocean of change. Donatella is a reminder that beauty does not always lie in conventional harmony, but in the strength to exist and the courage to reign at the pinnacle of one's craft. The story of Macaulay Culkin is an epic of rebirth from the ashes of fame that came too soon. Once the golden boy who captured the heart of the entire world, Culkin was forced to endure a brutal journey as stardom turned into shackles and expectation became a crushing weight. The scars of family conflict and personal loss at times pushed him into the darkest corners of existence, leaving the once radiant figure pale and exhausted under the relentless gaze of paparazzi. But a quiet miracle occurred when he chose to step out of the shadow of his former self. Macaulay's return did not come with explosive blockbusters, but with a sense of peace and genuine well-being. Today, in the embrace of his small family, we see a man whose eyes are filled with understanding and whose smile has rediscovered its original innocence. His walk on the runway and his recognition on the Hollywood Walk of Fame stand as proof of a simple truth. No matter how wounded a soul may be, it can always find its way back to the light. Macaulay Culkin today is no longer the forgotten child. He is a man who has finally found himself. Lindsay Lohan, once blessed with an angelic face and the fiery red flame of passion, endured one of the most shocking fame crises in Hollywood history. Stardom arrived like a whirlwind, pulling her into a vortex of endless parties, excess, and recurring legal troubles. There was a time when the world seemed to lose a remarkable talent, watching her wither under pressures that felt impossible to overcome, while Hollywood itself turned its back on its former darling. But the true nature of a star lies in the ability to be reborn from darkness. In recent years, Lindsay has staged a remarkable comeback. She found peace along the sands of Dubai, built a loving home, and returned to the screen with her familiar radiance, now enriched by the depth of someone who has tasted both sweetness and hardship. Her return is not merely a film project, but a powerful message of redemption and self-respect. Today, Lindsay Lohan stands as the image of a woman who has conquered the demons of her past to embrace motherhood and a more sustainable career. She proves that after the storm, the sky always shines brighter for those who never stop hoping. Axl Rose was once the embodiment of a tropical storm, wild, defiant, and devastatingly powerful. With blonde hair flying in the open air and a voice capable of piercing the clouds, he led an explosive era of rock music, turning stadiums into cathedrals of freedom. At his peak, he was not merely a singer, he was a religion of rebellion, a breathtaking symbol of seductive chaos. Yet the passage of time and years of turbulent journeys left undeniable marks on the body of that legendary frontman. When he re-emerged with an unfamiliar appearance, the digital world did not hesitate to hurl cruel mockery in his direction. But Axl Rose answered in the only language he has ever worshipped: music. He returned to the stage not to cling to the fading glory of a former rock god, but to reaffirm his status as a monument. Time may alter a face, but the fire in his voice still burns fiercely enough to incinerate all doubt. Axl proves that a true legend does not live by reflections of beauty, but by the eternal resonance of anthems that endure through the years. Brendan Fraser was once the dream of millions, a hero with a sunlit smile and a physique carved straight out of adventure legends. He walked through fame wrapped in universal admiration, seemingly possessing everything a star could ever desire. Yet behind the dazzling frames, life tested him with silent suffering, both physical and emotional. Injuries sustained through his complete dedication to his craft, along with personal upheavals, forced that hero into the shadows of near-forgotten obscurity. When he returned, the world was stunned by a figure no longer shaped like a god. Criticism followed, laced with the bitterness of change. But within that very sense of being broken, Brendan discovered a new kind of strength, the power of vulnerability and radical honesty. His haunting transformation in The Whale not only earned him the coveted golden statue, but also stood as a declaration of the return of an unbreakable soul. He proved that when the outer layers fade, the true worth of a human being shines more brilliantly than ever. Brendan Fraser today is a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of rebirth from the ashes of the past. Julianne Moore is far more than a star. She is an artistic force infused with the blazing red of passion and the boundless depth of a pure soul. In a cinematic capital obsessed with the fleeting illusions of manufactured youth, Moore chose her own path, one where refined sincerity is honored above all glittering spectacle. She captivates audiences not through rigid technical display, but through an empathy that pierces every mask, touching the most elemental emotions of the human condition. Each role she inhabits becomes a journey in search of truth, where beauty is defined by emotional resonance rather than inflexible physical standards. At this remarkable stage of profound maturity, Julianne Moore stands firm like a lighthouse of confidence and dignity. While the world rushes headlong into a futile race to freeze time, she greets the laws of nature with a smile and astonishing grace. Her legendary red hair, once a symbol of fierce inner fire, has softened into a calmer, more compassionate shade, reflecting a life rich with purpose and wisdom. The marks of time on her face are not wrinkles of decline, but lines of scripture recording a testament of insight and precious experience forged in life's red-hot fire. She is not only a versatile artist, but a beacon affirming the right to age with pride and radiance. Moore has shown humanity that ultimate beauty is not a frozen moment of youth, but a magnificent evolutionary journey of the soul. There, maturity is not the shadow of an ending, but the most brilliant and luminous light, illuminating the hidden corners of truth and enduring belief. Julianne Moore stands as living proof that when the soul is deep enough, time cannot diminish us. It only transforms us into a priceless masterpiece of creation. And there you have it. These stories remind us that time is not just a thief. It is a sculptor revealing the true essence of who we are. Whether they fought the clock or embraced the gray, each of these stars proves that beauty isn't about remaining frozen in youth, it's about the courage to evolve. Which transformation spoke to you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If this journey through time touched you, please leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, keep writing your own story.